Trying to help this over. Help this over. Stuffed it. And then.
Okay. All right. Well, she has this, right?
So you want to try to roll all the way over there then?
Do we just
Even if you over-rolled.
Is rolling here any good?
Got a couple options here. You could play
But
that.
then we discard.
The concern, though, with the score,
Can you block her freeze a little
you
bit?
could play this hit and roll too and try and
that.
roll
We just
your
have to be
shooter
careful
over
that we
into
don't-
there as well.
Yeah.
Set up the double that.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you're seeing.
Yeah,
Chris.
9. Just roll it in a little bit.
Just drawing one in. Just like
No,
a
we're
rocket.
gonna hit.
Yeah. 2 rocks in, it's right here.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out like
The 9.
your-
I think the score dictates you
There's
hit.
options though.
It just looks really, really well set up though to
roll
play
in
that
a
draw
little.
top 4, top 8.
So this way.
A 9.
Okay. So you want to just roll in like a rock or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 2 rocks.
Yeah. Okay. If
How
it happens to
crucial
draw, we can always.
Is the roll, not 1 rock.
got it?
We have to roll
Okay,
2
got it.
rocks.
Well, I think that the more crucial, I don't know if I'd roll that much because I would worry about a double. It'll be higher and it would be thin. That's the only risk you leave here. So I think by the roll, they're making that double tougher.
The season speaks to just how good they have played, how well they have played. And now, and over. So more than 2 rocks. Appreciate that and admire that. The best teams are so engaged. They're in a conversation of their own.
Well, it's so natural for those two because there's 2 skips down at the other end and they've done it all their life.
Wow, lovely to get there.
Bumper trying to hang it in the 8 foot so that we're sitting 2.
Okay.
At the curling trials in Saskatoon.
Need to roll this, Vic, to not leave a double for 2.
Please. Weight's good. Hard, Kristen. You gotta go. You gotta
Curling
go. You
edge.
gotta go.
Watch out.
Hard, Liz.
And away it
That looked
doesn't
like a
go.
lot of ice.
And there she goes.
Hard, Shane. Can't hurt it.
And well managed. And for
So I guess if we're playing red, our objectives at this point are, force would be just fine and steal would be ideal, but a force would just be just fine. Get the hammer back and keep on going. We don't really want to give up 2, and we certainly don't want to give up more than that. So those are unacceptable outcomes, really. I guess the option number 1 is just get rid of that Y5 somehow and nose it and ideally flop in, make sure we're sitting 3 and let them try and clean that up.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with hitting that sit 3. It's given the fact that we're up 2, it sort of seems obvious to hit something. My gut is that we're late enough at the end, we could consider other options that we'll get to in a second, but for sure hitting and sitting 3 is probably pretty safe.
Big option. So there's variants of hitting and sitting. There's what she tried, which is hitting and flopping in a rock. And we'll see in the video, it didn't really work out that well for her. Well,
you don't want to leave a double anywhere, right? So she rolls a bit too far and sets up a double. And then it's always tempting to play these hits and rolls because it's kind of a 2 for 1. You get rid of 1 and roll to a good spot. So.
But the danger with that, as we see in the video, is it's an incredibly precise shot. You've got to have the weight right. You've got to have the perfect line. You've got to have good sweepers that can hold the thing and make sure you make it. And she didn't.
Yeah, you miss a hit and roll by an inch or 2, and you get nothing for it, or not much. So it's a shot I think I've said in the book several times. It's probably the most commonly called shot that's not made precisely. Even the best in the world make this shot less than 50% of the time, probably closer to 30%, where you make the perfect hit and roll 1 rock to a spot. It's just it's 100 feet away and you have to hit it and roll you have a spot this big to hit. So it looks great, and when it's made, it is great, but it's not made that often.
So you like the alternative of guarding up in some, either anywhere from Y3 down to half buried underneath Y4.
If you're anywhere from here to here, you've taken away this access to this spot she needs to score a point, and all she's got is maybe something off here or whatever. So to me, it's just it's an easier shot. It's an easier shot to make than the perfect hit and roll, and it's more beneficial.
Yeah.
At the club, for example, you'd guard here every time, top 8, 3 feet short anywhere, because at the club they're not making that in off very often. They're probably not even playing it.
Yeah. Okay. So if say she makes that, and Einarson does make the in off to sit shot rock underneath yours, which is half buried, I guess your shot at that point is just to follow her down and freeze on top of that and hold her.
So like if we stop one here,
Yeah.
she makes this, she's
Yeah.
sitting here, and this red's gone.
Yeah.
Then we go anywhere in this area, and
That's it. She scores one.
we probably got her force unless she taps this thing in or something, but. And she makes it. She runs into this 2. Still hits 3. But if you get into the 8 foot here, she's got to make this for 1 or 2.
Right.
So I just think you have a way more likelihood of getting your force, by force, and the upside is much bigger. If you hit this Y5, you probably get your force, but you're basically taking the steal off the table.
Yeah.
The guard or tuck one, you probably get your force, and you brought a steal into play. Now you might be up 3 or more, and now you've really taken a strangle. The only real miss, if you do play that some sort of a top 8 or tight guard, if it hangs out a bit and it sits, say, open on the center line of the 8 foot, and you leave her an easy double, now there's 3 yellows in the paint and only 1 red, and it's back 8. So there's no risk associated with it, but it's a personal decision,
Yeah.
Hitting the Y5 seems like the safest call, but you just wonder if it could have played something a little more aggressive. Yeah, especially so late in the end. Like Kerry's only got 2 rocks left to try and get out of this mess, and maybe it's time to turn up the heat a bit.